principles of electrical engineering and measurement. So there are mainly subject. And this is our first class because last week I was engaged as I have sent a message yesterday about the schedule of class. So we are late by 1 week or more than 1 week, so we will cover all those things in the incoming classes. So there are mainly three parts in this subject. So this starting 3 units is mainly related to your DC networks, AC circuits, both single phase and 3-phase circuits. So in the DC network theory, mainly we have to study about the different methods for solving the electrical circuit. That is also useful for you when you will. Hello. आवाज नहीं है?
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
Yes, sir, your voice is cracking.
Okay. So let me now change the network then. अभी आवाज आ रही है?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Ari.
Okay. हाँ, तो इसमें जो है so mainly 3 parts are there in this subject which you have to study. In the first unit we will discuss about the concepts of DC networks. Means in this unit mainly we will talk about the different methods used to solve the electrical circuit, any electrical circuit. So we will start with the very basic concepts of circuit theory. Then we will talk about the different network theorems like superposition, Thevenin, Norton, maximum power transfer theorem or Milliman's theorem. Then the conversion of the network from star to delta, means whatever the different possibilities are there in order to reduce the complexity of any electrical circuit. So about that we are going to study in this unit 1, right? Then in unit 2 we will study about the steady state analysis of AC circuits. In this part, basically we will talk about the RLC circuit and how it behaves when AC supply is applied across the RLC circuit, or it may be combination of either R resistance or inductance, or simply it may be either LC circuit. So what are the conditions of resonance and what are the different resonance conditions, like whether it is series resonance or parallel resonance, what is the bandwidth of the network. So all these things we will cover in this part. Then in three-phase AC circuits, we will see how we can obtain the different voltage levels. Like if you know, then in three-phase AC circuits, we have the possibility to obtain both phase voltages and line voltages. So how the phase voltages and line voltages varies for a star connected network or delta connected network. Then how can we measure the power, total power in any three-phase AC networks? What are the different methods for that? Like we can use normally wattmeters are used for the measurement of power. So what are the different possibilities, whether we have to use 3 wattmeter method or 2 wattmeter method, or using a single wattmeter method? How can we measure the total power in any three-phase AC circuit? Then some measuring instruments we will talk about, like very basic one is the PMMC type, permanent magnet moving coil type of meters. It may be either ammeter or voltmeter. What is the principle of operation of the various instruments used for the measurement of electrical quantity? So you should know that for the measurement of voltage, voltmeter is normally used in the labs. For current measurement, ammeters are used. For power measurement, active power measurement, wattmeters are used. So what is the process, and what is the mechanism? What is the constructional details and features of each and every measuring instrument? That we will cover in this unit 3. Then now this unit 4 and unit 5 is totally related to electrical machines part. There are different type of electrical machines, like AC machine and DC machines. And also, if we talk about AC machine, then again we can categorize it in two parts, like static machine and rotating machines. So you can see in this unit 4, it is named as magnetic circuits and transformers. So transformers are basically a static device which is used for the stepping up or stepping down of voltage levels in any AC circuit. So we will talk about the principle of operation of the transformers. Then what are the constructional features of single phase transformers? What are the phasor diagrams, equivalent circuit, how we can draw the equivalent circuit and phasor diagram. Then how to conduct some basic test on a transformer, single phase transformer, like open circuit test and short circuit test. Then how to estimate the performance parameters like efficiency and voltage regulation of a transformer, that you have in your unit 4. So actually transformer itself is a very big chapter. It consists of single phase transformer and three phase transformer, but here just the introductory part we have to study. Hello,
भाई साहब नमस्कार।
हेलो, आवाज आ रही है?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ओके।
Yes, sir.
तो जितने भी लोग हो तुम लोग, वो सब अपना म्यूट करके रखो माइक। अगर कुछ बोलना है किसी को, देन यू कैन से ओनली द रिलेवेंट थिंग, राइट? और अगर आवाज कभी नहीं है, देन यू कैन इंटरप्ट। ओके, so in unit 4 we will be talking about the transformers, mainly single phase transformers, and only introduction. We are not going to the detail, because डिटेल में ये जब पढ़ाई होता है तो itself it is a huge topic, जो कि इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग के स्टूडेंट 4th and 5th सेमेस्टर में पढ़ते हैं, इलेक्ट्रिकल मशीन and 1 and electrical machine 2. Anyway, so then in unit 5 you have introduction to rotating machines. Now there are different type of rotating machines depending upon the supply scheme. We have AC machine and DC machine. So if we talk about the rotating machines, then the very basic concept is the principle of electromagnetic energy conversion, right? If we talk about DC machines, then there are two types of DC machine, DC motor and DC generator. So you should know that in case of DC motor, your input is electrical and output is mechanical, and vice versa in case of DC generator. In case of DC generator, your input is mechanical input and output you will be getting in the form of electrical, whether it may be voltage, current, or power, electrical power. Right. So this concept, principle of electromagnetic energy conversion, is very important before starting or studying about the DC machines or AC machines, rotating AC machines. Right. Sorry. So again, in case of DC machines, we will be discussing about the different constructional details of DC machine, then how EMF is generated for DC generators, then what are the various characteristics, that is magnetization characteristics and load characteristics, how we can estimate the losses and efficiency of a DC machine. So this is for both generator and motor, right? So how we can start and control the speed of a DC motors. So in this chapter, mainly we have to study about DC machine and three-phase and single-phase induction motors. So we will discuss only the basics of everything. Yeah, obviously we will have to go through the detail when we will talk about the efficiency, calculation of efficiency and characteristics. So we will have to see the mathematical equations also, how to estimate the various performance parameters of each machine. Again, for three-phase induction motors also only working principle and its application, how it starts, means what is the working principle, how rotating magnetic fields are developed in case of three-phase induction motors. Again, single-phase induction motor working principle and applications, whether it is similar to three-phase induction motor or it is different from single three-phase induction motor. What are the different applications of each motor? And then we have one special type of motor in this chapter, that is a stepper motor. The application of a stepper motor is also very huge nowadays due to the accuracy. We will see in detail when we will go through these machines. Then the last unit, which is your unit 6, this is about power systems generation. So in this unit, we will talk about the different types of power plants, whether it is a hydro power plant or thermal power plant or nuclear power plant. Just brief description of each and every type of power plants. Then what are the different standards for transmission and distribution of electrical power? You should know that electricity is generated in different type of power plants. So suppose, for example, we have a thermal power station. So in the thermal power station, the electricity is being generated. Then after generation, it has to travel a very long distance before it is delivered to the consumers or load centers. जैसे कि मान लो कि there is one thermal power station in Odisha, Talcher, NTPC super thermal power station, and your load center or the consumers is around 300 or 400 kilometers away from that station, right? Then before delivery of the power, you will have to transmit and distribute that power through huge transmission line corridor and distribution line infrastructure to the consumers, right? So there is a power exchange highway between the generating stations and the consumer premises or terminals. So that infrastructure is includes both transmission lines and distribution lines. So what are the different standards for both AC and DC systems, transmission systems? Then what are the different type of consumers, like your industrial, whether the consumer is industrial customer or commercial customer or domestic customers, what are the different standards for each type of customers. All these things we will cover in this chapter. And at last we have also some workshop type of things, like how we can lay out the wiring for any domestic applications, what are the different earthing rules. So these things are also there in your unit 6. So this is about the syllabus of this principles of electrical engineering and measurement part. So you can see that this is a very large syllabus which includes 3 main parts. First one is about the basics of DC and AC circuits, which includes different type of theorems and methods used for solving the or reducing the complexity of any network. Then we have measurement part also, about the introduction to measuring instruments. Then we have some machine part also. We have to study the basics of the different type of electrical machines, like transformers, DC machines, 3-phase and single phase induction motors. And at last we have this power systems generation. तो सिलेबस में किसी को कोई कुछ डिस्कस करना हो या पूछना हो तो बताओ। इसमें से तुम लोगों ने हो सकता है बहुत कुछ पहले पढ़ा भी हो, जैसे कि स्पेशली अबाउट दिस डीसी नेटवर्क थ्योरी और स्टेडी स्टेट एनालिसिस ऑफ एसी सर्किट्स। Anything, anyone want to say something?
Steady state analysis of basic circuit I have studied, I think.
Okay, right. किसमें? In 12th?
Yes, sir. In 12th, I think I have studied.
Okay. Yeah, I know that some part from DC network theory and this steady state analysis, you might have, some of you might have studied, but this thing may be new to you, this machine part and the power system generation part. I'm not sure about that. Anyway, so हाँ बताओ।
Sir, the things in the second chapter like resonance, bandwidth, quality factor, RLC circuit, sir, ये सब 12th में सब था sir.
Okay, ठीक है। So now we will start from the very basic concepts of circuit theory laws. Before going to the details about the different network theorems and the different analysis like nodal analysis or mesh analysis, just I will assume that all of you know these things, but just this is just a review which will be helpful for you also as well as for me also, in order to go through the detail of this unit 1. So today we will just review the basic concepts of circuit theory laws, right? Mainly Kirchhoff's current voltage law, Kirchhoff's voltage law, and then basic Ohm's law, and about the different components in any electrical circuit, like whether it is a voltage, current, or resistance, or reactance, or capacitance. So all these things we will try to discuss today. So I hope this PPT is visible to all of you. Can anybody confirm?
Yes, sir. Visible.
Yes, sir. Visible.
Thank you.
Sir, before that, I have a request, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
Sir, can you please shift this 5 to 6 class to 9 to 5 any hour? You comfortable?
9 to 5. So you
Yes.
confirm when you are free, when all of you are free, then I can see my
Sir, we are,
timetable whether I'm.
sir, we are free from 10 to 12, sir. If in between you could shift the class, so it would be great, sir. Because, sir, many of the students are involved in games and club activities, and this 5 to 6, it makes the day hectic.
शिफ्ट करा रहे हैं क्या हुआ शिफ्ट हुआ बोल तो दिया है
एक एक करके बोलो तुम लोग सब एक
Sir,
बार में मत बोलो.
we have our lab class of that electronics engineering lab class from sir 2 to 5, and sir in Tagore, sir we are in Tagore hostel, sir we have to walk from all the way to the campus. It takes, sir, we have to reach also.
Okay, so all of you came to the college now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me see my timetable first of all. So on the same day you want, means on Monday itself, the safety
Yes,
of the
sir.
class.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, on Monday from 10 to 12.
Just let me see my timetable first. Okay, I am free from 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 1. Between these slots, I am free today.
Sir, please shift from 10 to 11, sir. It would be great, sir. Sir,
Yes,
because
sir,
9 to 10 we have class, then 10 to 11, sir. That would be good. Otherwise,
I don't have any problem. So from next week onwards, we will shift this class 5 to 5:50 from 10 to 10:50.
Yes, sir.
yes
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
ठीक है, ये मैंने कर दिया है. बाकी जो तुम लोग का क्लास है, एक तो थर्सडे को होता है 12 से 12:50 और फिर उसी दिन होता है 5 से 5:50. तो इसमें बताओ, इसको भी कुछ करना है क्या?
यस सर उसको भी कर दीजिए सर कहीं अंदर.
अरे फ्राइडे फर्स्ट हाफ में तुम लोग का कुछ खाली है क्या?
Sir, 11 to 12.
फ्राइडे.
yes, sir. 11 to 12, sir. खाली, sir. 11 to 1, in fact, खाली है, sir.
ठीक है, 11 से 12 किया जा सकता है. ये 5 से 6 वाला जो थर्सडे का है, ये मैं शिफ्ट कर रहा हूँ 11 to 11:50, राइट, फ्राइडे को.
Okay, sir.
किसी को कुछ इसमें प्रॉब्लम?
नो सर
No, sir.
Okay, so all the
No,
three
sir.
classes are the first half. Monday को हो गया 10 से 10:50. Then Thursday को 12 से 12:50 और Friday को 11 to 11:50, right?
यस सर
Sir, Friday one is not possible because EC1 is having the tutorial in that time.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm asking. Saying that first of all you should confirm whether all the students of ECA group is free or not. चलो ऐसा है, अभी का तो रहने दो, अभी बस मंडे वाला है. बाकी तुम लोग मुझे बता देना जब भी तुम लोग का स्लॉट सब लोग का ये हो. तो अभी मैं ये फ्राइडे थर्सडे को 5 से 6 रहने दे रहा हूँ, ठीक है? वो तुम लोग आपस में देख लो अपना टाइम टेबल, उसके बाद मुझे बता देना.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Right. So in this presentation, coming back to this PPT, we will discuss about the basics of voltage, current, and resistance. This what is voltage, what is current, what is resistance, that we will see. Then we will see the application of Ohm's law in any electrical circuit, which consists of resistance, how we can define and apply the Ohm's law in any electrical network, that we will see. Then we will see about the different series type of electrical circuits, where the different components like resistor, I will mainly today talk about the resistor, voltage and current only, but in any electrical circuit, you may have either reactor also or capacitor also. So how the current in a series circuit is calculated, then how we can calculate the resistance of a series circuit, then how to estimate the voltage in a series circuit. These things are actually very basic thing, which I hope all of you know. बिकॉज जब भी जेई का कोई प्रिपरेशन किया होगा तुम लोगों ने तो एट दैट टाइम यू मस्ट हैव स्टडीड these things. Then we will see how we can define the Kirchhoff's current and Kirchhoff's voltage law, KCL and KVL. ये देखेंगे. Then we will also see some parallel circuits if time will allow today. Then we will see how we can calculate the equivalent resistance in a parallel electrical circuit, then how to calculate the current in a parallel electrical circuit, voltage कैसे calculate करते हैं, right, and how we apply the KCL and KVL in a parallel electrical circuit. So if you want to understand the basics of electricity, then you must have the fundamental concepts of these three quantities, which are voltage, current and resistances, right? So if sorry, so if I ask that how you can define this resistance, can you say anything, anyone? How
Sir,
you can define? Yes.
sir, resistance is the hindrance in the way of current.
Okay. That's fine. Anything else? Yes, that's fine. Means we can say that it's a resistance is basically a property of any electrical circuit or electronic circuit. It is a property of any electric circuit which opposes the flow of current in it. That is actually the hindrance, what you just said. So there exists a mathematical relationship between voltage, resistances and current in all the electrical and electronic circuits, right? You know that. That is that you can just explain through this V is equal to IR, right? Now, what is this relationship? We will just see later on how it comes and which law defines this relationship, that we will see. Then now we have this again coming towards this these three parameters like voltage, current and resistances. So let us first of all talk about the current. So current is the flow of electrical charge through an electronic circuit. The direction of a current is opposite to the direction of flow of electron, right? So suppose if we have any electrical circuit, very basic electrical circuit, which consists of suppose a voltage source V and a resistance R, and then if this is the direction of current, this is positive terminal of the battery or supply and this is the negative terminal. So current will always flow in the opposite direction of the electron. So if this is the direction of your current I, it means that your electron flow will be in this direction, right? These are basic things. I hope all of you know that. Just I am recalling all those things so that it becomes easy for all of you to understand the main content of this subject. So this was first this was derived by Andre Ampere, and from there the unit came in terms of ampere. Again, this voltage is the electrical force force that causes current to flow in any electrical circuit, right? So if we again consider the same electrical circuit, just what we have drawn in the previous slide. If this is R, this is V. So current through this circuit will flow only if there is any active source in the network. So voltage is basically an active source in the network which will apply a force such that electrical current will flow through that network. Now, there are some conditions, like suppose if by any means or due to any fault in the network, if suddenly open circuit of the terminal, any two terminal takes place, right? Then in that condition, whatever may be the magnitude of voltage, applied voltage in that electrical circuit, the current is not going to flow, right? So the circuit should be completed so that the current can flow through the circuit. So voltage is basically an electrical force which causes the current to flow. Then we have already talked about this resistance. So resistance is a measure of the opposition of current flow, right? So it resists the flow of current. That's why it is known as resistance. So it is measured in ohms, and it was discovered by this George Simon Ohm. Now, you can correlate these three quantities, voltage, current, and resistance, in terms of some physical quantities like force or flow of something, maybe water in this case, and how the flow of water can be resisted. That is accounted by opposition, which is equivalent to the resistance. So suppose we have we want to flow the water from one tank to another, and in between these two tanks we have a valve position through which we can adjust the flow of water level in the tanks, right? So here you have force, that is the difference in the water level. So भी water level का difference है first tank और second tank बीच में. Yeah, hello. आवाज नहीं आ रही है क्या?
आ रही है सर.
Okay, thank you. So whatever may be the difference between the level of water in the two tanks, that will create a force. So that is equivalent to your voltage of the electrical circuit, applied voltage. Then the flow of water between the tanks means here you can see that some portion of the water is traveling from one tank, means the first tank to the second tank. So this is equivalent to your current flow of water. And third one, the valve which can limit the amount of water, that is equivalent to your resistance. So the same thing you can correlate in this way, right? Why it's not working? Again, we have one example, practical example of an electrical circuit. All of you are aware about this torch light or flashlight. What is there? We have a battery, right? Multiple battery combinations may be there in any electrical torch, depending upon the size, depending upon its size. And here we have a switch, जो कि हम लोग अपने हाथ से प्रेस करते हैं तो देखते हैं टॉर्च जल जाता है. तो उसमें करते क्या है? Basically, this is equivalent to you can consider this flashlight in the form of this electrical circuit. right? So we have some batteries which are basically equivalent to voltage sources, right? So connecting the batteries in series, you can increase the voltage levels. Like suppose in any torch we have two battery. So suppose this is the first battery. Again in the series we are connecting the second battery. So this is the equivalent voltage level across the negative plate of the first battery and across the positive plate of the second battery. This will be the equivalent voltage. So that is the voltage source, and again we have a load. So load क्या है? Anything. How can we define load in any electrical circuit? ये कोई बता सकते हो?
Sir, with the
Sir,
resistance.
that power.
Please repeat.
Sir, that utilizes the energy of the circuit or consumes the
Right.
power.
Right. Anything which consumes the electrical power is known as electrical load. Right. So bulb. Basically, this symbol represents a tungsten bulb. So this is basically a load, right, in the form of resistance. जो सिंपल टंगस्टन बल्ब पहले यूज होता था 40 वाट का या 100 वाट का, वो क्या होता था? रजिस्टर होता था, एक तरह से रेजिस्टिव लोड होता था, प्योरली रेजिस्टिव लोड. सो we are applying a voltage source across a resistive load with the help of a switch. So now whenever we press, this completes the circuit and your this bulb glows up. जब उसको रिलीज करते हैं प्रेशर स्विच से, वो ओपन सर्किट में चला जाता है एंड द इलेक्ट्रिक करंट डज नॉट फ्लो. ये करंट का वैल्यू 0 हो जाता है ओपन सर्किट कंडीशन में. सो अगर करंट का पाथ फ्लो नहीं हो रहा है, इट मींस इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू ग्लो द लाइट used in the torch or flashlight, whatever it may be. Same thing is here also. When the circuit is complete, then you can see that in this way the direction of current is there. ये है obviously electron का flow जो होगा वो इस direction में होगा, right? So the current flow through the network and the lamp is in the on position, right? Now in the second position, when it is open circuit, so no current flows through it, and your lamp is off. Nothing new in this. Now here again same thing, that the electron flow means current, the flow of current will be just the opposite to the flow of the electron in through any network. So here it is mentioned that conventional current assumes that current flow out of the positive side of the battery through the circuit and back to the negative side of the battery. This was the convention established when electricity was first discovered, but it is incorrect, right? तो इसमें जो है बेसिकली इलेक्ट्रॉन फ्लो मैटर्स, राइट? तो इलेक्ट्रॉन फ्लो जो होता है वो कैसे होगा? निगेटिव साइड ऑफ द प्लेट ऑफ द बैटरी टुवर्ड्स द पॉजिटिव साइड, एंड ड्यू टू विच the flow of the current will be from the positive side of the battery towards the negative plate of the battery. This will be the direction of current, this will be the direction of electron flow. We have already discussed this. So again same thing. And now we will talk about this Ohm's law. Means earlier I told you that there is a mathematical relationship between voltage, current and resistance, which can be defined as V is equal to IR. So this law, Ohm's law, basically defines the relationship between voltage, current and resistance in any electrical circuit. But simply saying that V is equal to IR is your Ohm's law is not totally correct, right? So it can be defined as current in a resistor varies in a direct proportional to the voltage applied across the resistor, right? Suppose we have an electrical circuit, as here it is mentioned, we have a component of resistor. So current through this resistor will be directly proportional to the voltage across that resistor divided.
Hello, sir. You are not audible, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, network चला गया था बीच में. Let me share the screen again. So we were talking about this Ohm's law. So it can be defined as the current through any resistor is directly proportional to the voltage across that resistor, provided that the temperature is constant, right? Because you know that if the temperature will vary, then the value of resistance will also vary, because R is equal to R naught 1 plus alpha T. You should know this relation, alpha delta T, right? So at constant temperature, the current through any resistor is directly proportional to the voltage applied or voltage across that resistor. ठीक है, this is known as your Ohm's law. Condition क्या हुआ? The temperature should be constant, otherwise the resistor value will change, right? Now these things are very basic thing. I don't think we should discuss about these things, that I is equal to V by R, then R will be V by I. So these relationships are all equal, same, कुछ इसमें difference नहीं है. So now there are some examples that the flashlight shown uses a 6-volt battery and has a bulb with a resistance of this. When the flashlight is on, how much current will be drawn from the battery? So very basic thing. I don't think we should talk about this silly things, because ये जो है so nowadays 8th 9th 7th में ही लोग पढ़ लेते हैं. इसीलिए काफी बेसिक पीपीटी मैंने आज का रखा है कि तुम लोग जस्ट एक बार रिकॉल कर पाओ सब चीज को, so that we can start in detail from the next class onwards. Now, should I discuss about the calculation of equivalent resistance? ये बताओ. R equivalent in
No.
any series circuit or parallel circuit?
No, sir.
No, sir.
अदरवाइज इसमें करेंगे क्या कि नेक्स्ट क्लास जब भी होता है, थर्सडे को या वेडनेसडे को जब भी था, उसमें आई विल गिव यू सम क्वेश्चंस, राइट? और या तो ऐसा करते हैं कि एक असाइनमेंट टाइप से कुछ बेसिक क्वेश्चन का बना के I will upload it on MS Teams related to the calculation of equivalent resistance or capacitance. Sorry, equivalent resistance in series or parallel circuit. So by solving those things, you can recall. Otherwise, I will have to again repeat those things what you have already studied previously, right? So the very basic concept is that if all the components of the electrical circuit are connected in series, then the current through all the components will be same. Same current will be flowing through all the electrical components of that particular network. And if the components of the electrical networks are connected in parallel, then suppose if I is the total current entering towards a particular node, then the total current will be divided among the number of paths, number of parallel paths, depending upon the magnitude of the resistance, or you can say impedance of the individual component. And accordingly, the current magnitude will be distributed in the various components. So this is the basic difference. So the current through each components will be variable in case of parallel electrical circuit, right? So this is one representation of a series resistive circuit where we have a simple voltage source, DC voltage source having magnitude of, and we have three resistors, R1, R2, and R3, which are connected in series. How can we say that it is connected in series? Because same amount of current will be flowing all these three resistors. So if anybody asks to calculate the total current flowing through this network, then first step is to calculate the, so R equivalent will be R1 plus R2 plus R3. So this one will be your equivalent resistance, and then using the relationship I is equal to V by R. V is already given 12 volt. You can calculate the value of current through the network, right? So if we now after calculating the value of this current, total current IT, we can now calculate the voltage drop across each resistors, right? Because the value of resistor R1 is known, that is 220 ohm. So VR1 will be simply equal to IT into R1. Similarly, VR2 we can calculate and VR3 can be calculated. So sum of all the voltage drops, that is VR1, VR2, and VR3, will be equal to the total applied voltage, that is VT, 12 volt in this case. So this relationship is known as Kirchhoff's voltage law, right? So indirectly we can say that the voltage summation of voltage drop in any electrical circuit will be equal to 0, right? ये होगा, इस तरह कह सकते हैं, या फिर दूसरे फॉर्म में क्या कह सकते हैं कि whatever may be the voltage drop in any electrical circuit in the different components, that summation of that voltage drop should be equivalent to the applied voltage in that electrical circuit. So this is known as your KVL, right? The algebraic sum of voltage drop in any electrical circuit should be equal to 0. That is known as KVL. So now again we have one example. The same electrical circuit is there where we have a 12 volt source is there. The total resistance is RT. Now, how to calculate RT in any series electrical circuit? All of you know that. So the current through flowing through each component can be calculated now, right? Right. So how to calculate IR1, IR2, IR3, that is known to you. Then we can calculate the voltage drop across each component, right? So this can be done using KVL. अब इसी में कुछ complexity बढ़ा देंगे electrical circuit का, like suppose if we connect an additional resistor in between these 2 points like 1 and 2, कुछ इसका resistor value दे देंगे, R is equal to suppose 50 ohm, then apply this KVL, तो उसमें फिर कुछ तुमको अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा. So all these things we will see, means we will try to cover some basic examples also in the coming lectures. So for now, just I will ask you to please go through the basics of KCL, KVL and Ohm's law through any textbook you have studied previously, and please go through some basic circuits, how to calculate or how to apply the KCL, KVL in that particular circuit. Then from next class onwards, we will start the unit 1 in detail, means how to apply the mesh analysis, nodal analysis, and about the different type of sources in electrical circuits or electronic circuits, like whether it is a voltage source or current source, and if it is a voltage source, then whether it is a dependent voltage source or independent voltage source, or dependent current source or independent current source. So about the different types of sources also we will discuss, and how to solve any electrical circuit by reducing the complexity of that electrical circuit. All these things we will cover in the coming lectures, which will be a part of unit 1. So I hope introduction part is clear to all of you. Any question from anyone?
No,
Sir,
sir.
hello,
No,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, that assignment you are talking about, so you will share that assignment in Teams or like how you will share it?
No, I will share it on Teams only. I will give some questions and basic questions related to KCL and KVL in some complex circuit. I will upload that. You will get the notification for the same. Right.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So thank you everyone for today. We will meet again on Thursday in the scheduled class.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.